call it poison, and that's a whole other story.
That's a whole other story.
Okay, so is there anything you'd like to ask Pozza to start off with about her and her life and her scientist?
What is she?
Yes, that's a good one.
What science does she study? Like,
what science do you study, Pozza?
Yeah, I've been studying life science. So in other words, I've been studying biology and molecular biology, which is about the molecules inside our body. And it's really exciting now because we are learning so much more about this amazing molecule that is in all of our cells, because it's the instruction manual for our whole body. And every living thing on earth has the same instructions on it. So it's so exciting. It's the coolest thing to study as a scientist. So, and I've got a really cool laboratory that I bring primary school and high school students into to help them study the same sort of science. So, and it means that we can help people in the future get better from serious diseases. So it's pretty cool. So it's so cool to see you all. My goodness, I'm here in Perth in Australia and you're in gorgeous New Zealand. So so I believe that part of what your class has been doing is so cool. I think your teacher must be so awesome to have got you to do the science fair, and you're all doing amazing sorts of projects, and it's been so cool. It's been so cool having Talia becoming a little professor, and she becomes an awesome scientist, and I know that she gets to mix with you other awesome scientists as well. So I mean, it's all good. So I am so rapt to be able to have you.
She's like a rock star.
So there you go. And right now, I'm able to Talia take over again.
Alrighty, okay. So,
You probably need someone to hold her.
I'm here. I'm looking
interesting. Yep.
So that you're filming Jenna doing her presentation. Jenna. So Jenna's facing Talia doing her presentation.
Yeah, I got that.
Alright.
Xavier, possibly.
Just put on this, or give it to Gwen.
Right. How about Xavier? Could you get up in your seat, please, like a gentleman? You could jump on the couch if you like.
I've already done that. That's my chair over there.
And Jenna, you have a seat here, and you've got a good view. Right. So you've got a good view there. Yeah. Good.
I've got a fantastic view here. I can see myself in the TV. Go, Professor Talia.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I'm just gonna start because I can. Okay. This year for Science Fair, I've investigated 3 fruits and 3 vegetables because I wanted to know which of the 2 food types produce the most DNA, which was an awesome topic to investigate, and I had heaps of fun. And so the 3 fruits that I kind of extracted DNA from was apple, banana, and kiwi fruit. And the 3 vegetables I did was chickpea, carrot, and zucchini, which were some interesting ones. I probably would have changed my choices a little bit, and that's because due to seasonal limitations as well, because I probably would have done the strawberries for a reason that you will understand in a moment, and they work really well. And I wouldn't have done hard vegetables and fruits because they're really hard to juice, and that's part of the process. And so like standing there with a rolling pin trying to get juice out of them. And so this all started a couple of years ago when I did do a Skype call with Pozza, and she taught me how to extract DNA from a strawberry, which I'm sure you remember. And I had so much fun, and I really enjoyed it. And so I decided to take it a step further this year and increase my sample size and actually answer a question. So that's kind of where this all started, which was just amazing. And so my beginning hypothesis was I thought that overall fruits would do better than vegetables, and I'd done a bit of research, and these are often used in lab demonstrations. Like, you don't really see vegetables being used when they're teaching primary school kids how to extract DNA and things. They're generally using kiwi fruit or fruits. And then I kind of zoomed into each category and which one out of the fruits and the vegetables that I used would kind of stand out. So for the fruits, I thought a kiwi fruit, because the water content inside a kiwi fruit, like when you cut them open, they're really watery. And I thought that would like create residue that could increase the DNA mass. That was my theory. And then with the vegetables, I thought that the carrot would work best, because like how we got the juice out of the carrot and the zucchini was we actually grated it and then juiced it. And when you do that, like if you're making mince or whatever, and you squeeze like a grated carrot, there's a lot of juice that comes out, which is part of the process. So I thought that would work best. And those were, I'm happy with my hypothesis. And then you can actually read that there because it's right next to you. But I'm just going to brief what I did for each. So I'll use the kiwi fruit as an example because that went the best. I very much got the flesh. I didn't want any skin. I just chopped up the flesh and skinned it. And then I put that into a little Ziploc bag and mushed it, so that, because that breaks open the DNA cells, which is a good sign. And then once I'd done that, I added dishwashing liquid, water and salt together, and then added 2 teaspoons of that formula into the mush, I guess. And that like helps with bringing it out, and it's also quite smelly. And then I actually poured it into a plastic cup, but that's because I wanted to like observe it as it was forming, and I could pick it up easier, but you don't have to do that. And then I added an equal amount of 90% rubbing alcohol to the mix that I already had in the cup. And if you don't know what 90% rubbing alcohol is, it's pretty much, we got it from the chemist, and it's like a little bottle, and 90% of the mixture is just pure alcohol, like pure alcohol, so you don't really want to drink it. And I added that to the mix, which isolates the DNA and helps push it up. And then after around 7 minutes, you'll see your DNA, which is really cool. And it's like a white cloudy substance shown here and here. And so I did that with all my fruits and all my vegetables, and it took 2 days because it took a while to go through the whole process. And then my results were very interesting. So overall, my hypothesis was correct. Fruits did work better than vegetables. However, one fruit had a whole teaspoon of DNA, and that was the banana. And then one vegetable had a whole teaspoon of DNA, which was the zucchini. And so those were the 2 top scores. But the reason that fruit worked best overall is that every fruit sample that I used produced DNA. As the carrot and the chickpea, no reaction, nothing. Which I further looked into, and there was heaps on the web, which is why I didn't note down the website, because I didn't even know what it was. There was so much on there. But DNA is like really awesome, and it's like your fingerprint. Like, no 2 people's fingerprints are the same. It's the same with DNA. No 2 people's DNA is exactly the same. And the DNA properties of the carrot and the chickpea that I used didn't match the technique I used, and there's like heaps of techniques to extracting DNA as well. Like, there's one with pineapple juice and one with tomatoes, and they're all really different, which is why that didn't work. And I further looked into the kiwi fruit because that had the best quality, and I was wondering if there was anything that kind of like impacted that. And the skin was sprayed, it was export quality. So even though I took the skin off, I was wondering if that had an impact. So I made a further look into that. So overall, I really enjoyed this, and I had heaps of fun with it. And it was just like so fun, and I learned heaps. And so some last minute references and acknowledgements. There's a website link just down there where you can look, and you may see me go step by step through the process of extracting DNA, which is really, really interesting. And then I'd also like to thank my mum and my family, because our printer wasn't working. So all of this had to be either printed at my mum's work, and so my mum was really flexible with that, or we went to Warehouse Stationery and printed it. And I'd also like to thank, finally, Puzza, because you've taught me so much and I couldn't be here without you. And it's just been so amazing having like Skype calls with you and you being able to help me whenever I was questioning myself. So thank you.
So anyone got any questions for Talia and Puzza?
Nice.
Hirsch.
Can I see your logbook?
Oh yes, sorry, I forgot about that. My logbook really isn't that interesting. It's just lots of entries and how I was feeling as well throughout this thing. Like it's got data and information, but a lot of them start with either yay or oh great or something like that. Something that's very opinionated. And then I've got a couple of diagrams in here of what I thought it was going to look like and things like that.
Can I say something? Can I just interject?
Yes.
Yes, you may. Go ahead.
I just want to say to everyone there that having just listened to what Talia said, I really only had a couple of sort of phone calls and we chatted about stuff, but seriously, Talia did so much of this herself, and what you just showed then, Talia, is exactly, and I'm just showing my head over this, it's exactly what our real scientists have upstairs is their logbooks, and they keep all of their information there, and it's things, and they actually write, yay, I got it, or no, don't do this bit. That is authentic, real science, that's how real scientists work. And asking questions and just continuing to think. It's all about thinking and asking questions and exploring and collaborating and discovering stuff. So can I just say that I think that you guys are all in such great company together because your teacher obviously values how important all this sort of stuff is. And Talia, amazing job. Professor, straight away. Skip the doctor, straight to the professor. So impressed. So impressed.
Oh, we agree, totally. Yeah, so just to add on to that, I think I keep wanting to say Puzza.
Say Puzza.
Is that alright?
Say Puzza.
That's
all we-
a basis here.
But I think what Puzza was saying and what we've seen with especially your presentation and the other ones is that connection to your learning and like the learning's happening through the trial and error. So sometimes you find out something doesn't work, does it? And that's actually where the learning is. And I think you've seen that because it's something you said about you now want to find out more about maybe the skin, you know, what would happen using the skin instead and things like that. So you've kind of got to a point and then been able to think, oh, I could actually go further in that direction or that direction from what you've done already. But you've made great connections, and I think that it's been very evident, which is awesome.
Fantastic. Look, I'm going to have to go because I have to go and teach all these other kids about
Oh, yeah.
DNA. But I want to say, you guys rock in that fabulous classroom of yours there, guys. I'd love to come over and visit sometime. I'm trying to plan one of a visit before your class finishes this year, and just keep rocking science because it's just awesome. And thank you for having me and for all the trouble to get me on time and stuff.
Oh, thank you so much for coming.
Hi, Puzza.